the problem of unawareness, the thoughts you dwell on and the words you speak every day are quietly shaping your reality, often without your knowing. If you continue to think negatively or speak carelessly, you attract obstacles and unhappiness. But if you harness this power wisely, your life can transform in ways you never imagined. Because the life you live is the reflection of the thoughts you nurture, and the words you release is the reflection of the thoughts you nurture and the words you release. Let us start with something very simple yet profoundly true. Every thought you plant is a seed. And just like seeds in a field, thoughts grow. Some grow into weeds that choke your happiness. Some grow into flowers that fill your life with beauty. Think about it. When you worry constantly about the future, you are watering seeds of fear. You are watering seeds of fear. They grow silently in your subconscious and slowly in your subconscious and slowly influence how you feel, how you act, and even the decisions you make. You may not notice it in the moment, but over weeks and months, these thoughts accumulate like invisible bricks, building the walls of your reality. On the other hand, when you focus on gratitude, hope, and possibilities, you are planting seeds that nurture courage and resilience. Even when life throws challenges, these thoughts give you the inner strength to rise, adapt, and persevere. Your mind becomes a garden of abundance. One young man once came to a wise teacher and said, "I try to think positively, but bad thoughts always creep in. Why can't I control them?" The teacher smiled and said, "Your mind is like a monkey. If you try to control it with force, it resists. But if you guide it gently, it will start following your direction." What he meant was simple. You cannot stop every negative thought instantly, but you can slowly redirect your mind. Instead of dwelling on what could go wrong, focus on what you can do right. Instead of imagining rejection, imagine opportunity. The quality of your thoughts shapes the quality of your life. Consider this example. Two people may face the same challenge. One loses hope immediately, overwhelmed by fear. The other sees it as a lesson, an opportunity to grow, and takes action. What made the difference? Their inner dialogue. Their thoughts created their experience. Thoughts are invisible, but they're powerful. They set your mood for the day, influence your interactions with others, and guide the decisions you make. A mind filled with fear attracts doubt. A mind filled with positivity attracts clarity. A mind that constantly dwells on limitations creates limitations. Even science confirms this. Neuroscience shows that repeated thoughts create neural pathways. The more you think a certain way, the stronger that pattern becomes in your brain. In other words, thinking becomes habit and habit becomes destiny. So every thought matters. Every moment you spend worrying, criticizing yourself, or imagining failure, you are quietly building a life aligned with those fears. And every moment you practice hope, gratitude, and constructive thinking, you are quietly building a life of abundance, joy, and peace. This is why awareness is key. This is why awareness is key. Watch your mind as a gardener watches his field. Notice which seeds you are planting, which weeds you are watering. The invisible power of your thoughts is shaping your reality every day, whether you realize it or not. Now let us move from thoughts to words, the visible manifestation of our inner world. If thoughts are seeds, words are the water that makes them grow. Every word you speak carries energy. It can heal, inspire, and uplift, or it can wound, discourage, and destroy. Think about the last conversation you had. How many words were positive, encouraging, and constructive? And how many words were positive, encouraging, and constructive? And how many word negative, critical, or every word you speak leaves an imprint, not just on others, but on yourself. Words shape perception, influence emotions, and ultimately direct the course of your life. There is a saying, what you speak, you become. When you repeatedly use words of fear, doubt, and limitation, you reinforce those feelings in your mind. You speak of failure, scarcity, or impossibility, and slowly your reality begins to echo those expressions. Your energy aligns with the words you release, and the universe responds in kind. On the other hand, when you choose words of hope, gratitude, and encouragement, something magical happens. You begin to feel stronger, more capable, and more positive. People around you respond to that energy. Opportunities appear, challenges feel lighter, and your inner world begins to reflect the beauty of your speech. Consider a simple example. Imagine two parents talking to their child every day. One constantly criticizes, pointing out mistakes, highlighting what is wrong. The child grows anxious, doubtful, and hesitant. The other parent speaks with encouragement, noticing effort, praising progress, and nurturing potential. That child grows confident, resilient, and willing to take risks. The words did not just communicate ideas, they shaped identity and life. Your words have the same power in your own life. Your words have the same power in your own life. When you constantly say, I can't, I am not enough, or this will never work, you are programming your mind to follow those statements. Your words become self fulfilling prophecies. The more you verbalize limitation, the more you verbalize limitation, the more your mind obeys. Conversely, speaking with intention, clarity, and positivity transforms reality. I can, I am capable, I am. Learning and growing these statements plant seeds of possibility. Repeated often, they shape your mindset, influence your behavior, and gradually build a life that aligns with your words. Words are also contagious. The energy behind your speech affects those around you. A kind word can lift someone out of despair. A harsh word can leave a mark that lasts for days. In this way, your words not only create your reality but ripple into the reality of others. You are shaping your environment with every sentence you utter. It is therefore essential to cultivate awareness of what you say. Pause before you speak. Ask before you speak. Ask yourself, does this word heal or hurt? Does it build or break? Am I nurturing hope or am I spreading fear? Words spoken carelessly are like weeds spreading through a garden. Words spoken mindfully are like rain nourishing the flowers you want to grow. When thoughts align with words, transformation becomes inevitable. Positive thoughts expressed through intentional speech create momentum, guiding your actions and shaping experiences. This is why the ancient wisdom emphasizes mindful speech. It is not just etiquette, it is a tool for crafting reality. Your life is a reflection of your inner dialogue expressed outwardly. Watch your words as you watch your thoughts. Protect your speech. Nurture it. Let it be a source of power, not a channel of limitation. Because the words you speak are shaping the life you live every single day. Now, let's talk about something many people overlook: the subtle poison of negativity. Negativity can sneak into your mind like a quiet fog, dimming your clarity, draining your energy, and quietly shaping your life in ways you do not notice. It is not just about thinking bad thoughts once in a while. It is about allowing negative patterns to dominate your mental and emotional landscape. Negativity begins when we give attention to fear, doubt, resentment, or self criticism. You think, I'll never succeed, or nothing ever works for me. You speak, I'm unlucky, or life is unfair. Each negative thought and word acts like a weight, slowing down your potential and creating invisible barriers around your life. Consider this: when a seed is planted in poor soil, even if it is watered, it struggles to grow. Similarly, a mind filled with negativity is poor soil. Your thoughts and words may carry potential, but negativity blocks growth, suffocates opportunity, and creates resistance to change. Negativity is contagious too. Negativity is too. When you dwell on complaints, frustrations, or resentment, you not only weigh down your own mind, but your energy influences the people around you. Your words echo in your environment, creating tension, conflict, or apathy. Slowly, your life becomes a reflection of this pessimism, not because the world is inherently harsh, but because your perception and speech are coloring it. So many people fail to realize that growth is not just about effort or talent, it is about mindset. A talented individual who is trapped in a cycle of negative thinking and critical speech will struggle to achieve even simple goals. Conversely, someone with modest abilities but a positive, resilient mindset often achieves far more because their thoughts and words align with possibility, not limitation. Negativity also feeds inertia. When you constantly speak and think negatively, also feeds inertia. When you constantly speak and think negatively, your mind seeks confirmation of your beliefs. You notice setbacks more than progress. You interpret neutral events as failures. You stop taking initiative because deep down, you have already programmed yourself for disappointment. The energy that could have been used for learning, creating, or connecting is absorbed by fear and cynicism. There is also an emotional cost. Negativity makes you tense, restless, and anxious. It distorts your perception of relationships, opportunities, and challenges. Small problems appear insurmountable. Misunderstandings grow into conflicts. Your inner peace becomes fragile. And the paradox is that while negativity keeps you occupied with problems, it rarely offers solutions. You end up stuck in a loop, spinning in mental energy without constructive movement. Breaking free from negativity begins with awareness. Recognize the words you speak about yourself and others. Notice the recurring thoughts that pull you down. Pause before you dwell on fear or complain about circumstances. Replace I can't with I am learning. Replace this is impossible with I can find a way. Replace life is unfair with what can I do to improve. It is also helpful to surround yourself with positivity, people who inspire, words that uplift, and experiences that encourage growth. But the first and most important step is internal. You must decide that negativity will no longer have authority over your mind or your speech. Remember, your mind is a fertile field, and negativity is like a creeping weed. If left unattended, it spreads and chokes everything good. But if recognized early, it can be removed, leaving room for flowers of hope, gratitude, and progress to flourish. When you consciously limit negativity in your thoughts and words, you allow yourself to grow unhindered. Opportunities become visible, relationships improve visible. relationships improve, energy returns, life opens up. You stop attracting obstacles that are born from your own inner criticism. Negativity does not just block growth, it quietly shapes a life that mirrors your doubts and fears. But when you remove it, the natural path of learning, expansion, fulfillment becomes visible, clear, and attainable. Now we come to the most powerful part of this journey, learning to cultivate positive thoughts and speech. This is not a magic trick, nor is it a every sudden change. It is a conscious daily practice of awareness and intention, just as a gardener tends to his plants, removing weeds and watering seeds carefully. You must tend to your mind and words. Positive thoughts begin with awareness. Notice the patterns of your thinking. Are your thoughts mostly focused on fear, criticism, or self doubt? Or are they rooted in hope, possibility, and gratitude? Awareness is the first step because you cannot change what you do not see. Once you recognize negative patterns, you can gently recognize negative patterns. You can gently redirect them toward constructive tool. Empowering thought tool. Take a moment each day to acknowledge what is going well in your life. However small it may seem, gratitude shifts the mind from scarcity to abundance. It rewires your brain to focus on opportunity rather than limitation. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes, and the more your words begin to reflect appreciation and positivity. Intentional speech is equally important. Every word you speak has energy. When you speak positively, even about challenges, you reinforce constructive thinking. Instead of saying, I can't handle this, say, I am learning how to manage this. Say, I am learning how to manage this. Instead of criticizing others or yourself, focus on encouragement and solutions. Over time, your words become a reflection of your inner strength and mindset, attracting supportive experiences and people. Surrounding yourself with positivity also accelerates growth. Engage with books, videos, and conversations that inspire and uplift. Spend time with people who bring out the best in you. The energy around you influences your own inner dialogue. Positive environments act like sunlight and water for the seeds of your mind, helping them grow strong and resilient. Another essential practice is visualization. Take a few minutes each day to imagine your goals, your best self, and the life you desire. Picture yourself overcoming challenges, speaking confidently, and interacting positively with the world. Visualization strengthens the neural pathways in your brain, preparing you to act in alignment with your thoughts and words. It transforms abstract ideas into tangible possibilities. Self compassion is also key. Cultivating positivity does not mean ignoring mistakes or pretending everything is perfect. It means approaching yourself with kindness, learning from setbacks, and speaking to yourself as you would to someone you deeply care about. Harsh words to yourself reinforce negativity, while gentle encouragement builds resilience. Consistency matters more than perfection. Positive thinking and speech are like exercises for your mind. At first, it may feel unnatural to replace a negative thought or word with a positive one, but over time, repetition strengthens these habits. Your mind starts to default to constructive thinking, and your speech naturally carries the energy of optimism and confidence. Finally, remember the ripple effect. Your positive thoughts and words not only shape your life, but also influence those around you. Encouraging words uplift others, optimistic people play. The perspectives inspire solutions. Small acts of kindness and positivity expand outward, creating a more harmonious environment and attracting like minded people into your life. Cultivating positive thoughts and speech is not about avoiding reality or pretending everything is perfect. It is about choosing to respond to life intentionally, aligning your inner dialogue with your highest vision. When thoughts and words are rooted in positivity, your actions follow naturally and your life transforms. Opportunities appear, relationships improve, challenges become lessons rather than obstacles. Your reality begins to reflect the energy you carry in your mind and speak into the world. When you consistently nurture your thoughts and words, you discover that the life you desire is not created by luck or circumstance, but by the quiet daily choices you make, the words you speak, and the thoughts you cultivate. As we come to the end, take a moment to reflect on the power you carry every single day. Your thoughts are seeds, and your words are the water that helps them grow. If you fill your mind with fear, doubt, or negativity and speak without awareness, you are quietly shaping a life of limitation. But if you choose to think with clarity, speak with intention, and cultivate positivity, your life begins to reflect the beauty, abundance, and peace that you nurture within. Remember, the world may not always respond the way you hope, but your inner world is entirely within your control. Anchor your self worth in your own values, guide your self worth in your own values, guide your thoughts toward hope, and let your words uplift rather than diminish. In doing so, you create a reality that honors your potential, attracts opportunities, and spreads positivity to everyone around you. Life is a mirror of what you think and speak, so choose wisely, nurture carefully, and watch your world transform from within. Peace, clarity, and joy begin not outside, but inside, always inside, always inside.